Rejuvenation is a manufacturer and direct marketer of high-quality light fixtures and hardware. Since its inception in 1971, Rejuvenation has provided customers with high-quality lighting solutions, custom-fit to their needs. Acquired by Williams-Sonoma in 2011, the company continues to operate an online storefront, as well as 10 retail stores throughout Oregon, Washington, California, Illinois, Georgia, Texas, and New York. While the business has grown to include a variety of home furnishings, decor, rugs, and furniture, handcrafted, artisan lighting and hardware is still the centerpiece of their portfolio. Customization is one of Rejuvenation's specialties. With a large portion of orders being make-to-order, they offer a wide array of customization options for many of their products, allowing them to meet the specific needs for each customer. This is reflected in their factory, where over 300 employees handcraft pieces to meet exact customer specifications. Their factory is located in Northwest Portland and both restores vintage pieces and manufactures customized and standardized lighting for thousands of customers. Alright, let's take a look at Rejuvenation's headquarters. So, despite it being their largest business segment, the lighting team is actually pretty small, consisting of 3 buyers, 1 inventory and demand planner, 3 control buyers, and a small team of engineers. Demand forecasting is based off of a regression statistics approach. Quarterly demand is planned 9 months in advance of the beginning of the quarter. Inventory planner makes revisions as needed based on recent trends and future speculations. Then the product manager reviews all new products being launched within the planning season. From there, the inventory planner forecasts demand based on similar items that are currently in their line on the floor. After that, carryover and new non-comp items are also forecast and brought together in one final demand number. Those projections are then reviewed by the EVP, the VP of Merchandising, the Senior Manager of Inventory, and the functional teams before a revised copy sent by them to ordering. Orders are placed in a raw material purchase order, and they're typically ordered in large quantities because they're used across a variety of products within the factory. Orders are placed with an expected weeks on hand at the end of the quarter and with a safety stock of 6 weeks, because that is the approximate lead time for shipping these components internationally. Before we get into the challenges that the company is facing, I want to go over one of the products briefly to give some example of some of the concepts we're talking about. So some of the things that the customers can customize on a chandelier like this would be the diameter of this bell itself, the metal finish on the hanger, the type of glass that's surrounding the fixture, and then the length of the hanger itself. Now, co-use parts are parts that can be used across multiple products. So an example of this would be the glass. It's currently being used in a couple of display pieces and some other products, a number of other lamps. The screws are also used in another number of other lamps, and the sockets are just standard bulb sockets that are used across a wide variety of products. Now, before we go into the challenges, we're going to go over to our team member Ray, who's going to discuss how the design process fits in with the demand planning.
After it's understood what is needed and how much is needed, or the quantity of SKU count that's needed, that all goes through the buying and it gets turned into design. The design really brings the storyboards into that message and looks at what are we feeling of going after. So looking at Q1 and Q2, you can see that there's going to be a lot of geometrics. There's kind of a new aesthetic that was really inspired by Swedish design, which is brand new for us, so it's a new aesthetic to try out. But these are just CADs of things that we think inspire us to bring the vision together. And then through this, we'll tweak it through several iterations of testing and land on what we want, or we'll figure we just can't get it to be what we need it to be, and then it goes away.
So let's discuss some of the challenges that Rejuvenation is currently facing. One of the big issues is that they lack current planning tools and software. Right now, they're the only business-to-consumer division in the manufacturing industry within the Williams-Sonoma portfolio. And this means that essentially they can't use the software that's typically used by Williams-Sonoma because they have such specific needs within their organization. Because of this, planning is done in Excel documents and is often subject to entry error. Another issue is actually co-use parts. If they're not properly managed, a shortage of one part can lead to multiple orders being put on hold while the company waits for more of those parts to come in. And those orders are put behind other orders in the priority queue. Another challenge is actually the custom orders. Because of the nature of their business, it's extremely hard to plan because so many of their jobs are restoration orders, which require very unique parts and components. And because so many of their products can be custom ordered to fit customer needs, it's very difficult to forecast exactly what's going to be needed in a quarter. So we have a few recommendations for Rejuvenation. The first would be to separate the manufacturing system from the retail system. Both currently operate under the same vertically integrated business model and share the same system, which limits the functional abilities of both business departments. Splitting them would allow the brand to take advantage of the Williams-Sonoma software that they are currently not able to use. Inventory planners would be able to focus on demand planning and inventory management, while factories could simply use that demand information for materials planning. Our next suggestion would be to increase investment in co-use parts. Using the same part across a large breadth of products can allow for buying a smaller variety of parts. But this also requires better management of co-use inventory and demand, and would require a modified safety stock to accommodate for that. One of the big advantages of this is it minimizes the need for air freight, which is currently used when a part runs out and it is needed in a pinch. Our last recommendation would be to manufacture a certain stock of popular combinations of their customizable models. So, for example, that Willamette piece, they could produce popular combinations of length, metal, and glass dimensions. This would allow for fulfillment of orders in a more timely manner, but of course would only be viable with top-selling items and collections such as the Willamette piece. Today, Rejuvenation remains one of the top artisan lighting and decor solutions as they continue to prove themselves a valuable part of the Williams-Sonoma portfolio. They are currently opening 2 more retail locations with plans for dozens more domestically and eventually internationally. They strive for excellence and quality craftsmanship in every product they make. Whether it be updated vintage pieces or a custom fixture, Rejuvenation works hard to make sure that each one of their customers' needs are met.